Pytanie z tyłu odpowiada na pytanie lub nie, tak? Potyka się, pada na ziemię, wpada do jeziora i jest ciekawy, dobra? I zaczyna się jakieś kino, tak?
I was wondering, it's a very interesting way to tell 7 different stories.
Let's go.
Maybe... Oh, okay. Let's walk a little bit.
Yep.
I was wondering if you see the film more as 7 separate chapters or as a one story told throughout those 7 different episodes.
The dream was to make 7 films which use very different musics, different towns in Europe, different circumstances, but in fact say one single story of enchantment. Okay? Jedziemy.
You mentioned enchantment, and I think it's a very beautiful word to describe the way that music is used in this, in those 7 stories. And I'm interested in the way that you accumulated those 7 very different tales. How did you put them all together?
First of all, I love music. I really do. I've made 2 feature music films. One about the last days of Chopin in France, and another taken from Boris Godunov, an opera by Mussorgsky, right? Doctors told me when I was quite young that I have the so-called absolute ear. Mm-hmm. I hear music, I guess. Maybe not the best music possible, but I do. So, getting older, the idea of putting together a film about musics, because all the musics are so interesting, was really, I was often accused of making violent, and even the French said hysterical films. Mm-hmm. And I wanted to make a film reflective, more quiet. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And what is a better way to do it if it's not music?
Right.
Okay? Right. Okay, check. Ale zacznijmy tak, że niby ja się zastanawiam, a ty też.
Dobrze.
Zastanawiamy się obaj. O, dobra?
Mhm.
Kiedy chcesz? Mówcie. Dobra?
I feel there's this richness of emotion in your cinema in general, because
I hope so.
Oh, definitely. It's it's a cinema full of not only extreme states of being. I was struck by when I was reading the script, is that every story differs in tone.
Yes.
You start with a very quick story, very fast-paced, basically
yes.
action cinema story,
yes.
which immediately pulls the viewer into the film. How do you plan on managing all those moods and different tones within the film?
I don't plan. I have it in. We have it in us. We don't listen to every music in the same way. We don't listen to Mozart the way we listen to Stravinsky, for instance, etc., etc., or to the Beatles, by the way, or whatever. The idea of the Seven.
Yes,
Oh, I wrote 7. Good.
There are 7 definitely.
7 different films was to have the music as a dramatis personae, as the Latin says. It's music is the person, the thing, the god, the whatever, who provokes the action and explains it by the end in the most delicate way. It's not harsh, it's not brutal. It sometimes is crude and cruel. Music doesn't give you freedom. It gives you sweet and bitter tastes in your mouth. Cinema gives you freedom. The 7 ways of trying to catch this butterfly, which means music. You can, look, he can do whatever. He can go to the right, he can go to the left, he can dance. And it becomes music.
Mm-hmm. Visual music.
Yeah. No, we can put whatever. La valse triste, Sibelius music, He will move accordingly, okay. Or something. Well, no, that was a joke. I felt this tremendous urge to make a series of short films which on the surface are quite calmed down, quite peaceful. And the peace and the drama in these films comes from music. But music is not from the beginning to the end of each film. There's short films of 10, 12 minutes. So it sounds perhaps, and I'm sorry for that, a bit intellectual. My big dream is to make a totally sensual film.
Yeah. An emotional. I think that this is a movie that is definitely capable of speaking not only to people interested in music, but just to human beings.
Well, I don't have the habit of talking to the... How do you call this strange bird?
Peacock?
Peacocks. Although there are so many peacocks in the cinema. My dream was to write very simple stories. In fact, not much dialogue, not many complications, but very straightforward. In different towns of Europe, in different capital towns,
Right.
Oslo and Warsaw and Berlin and Paris, and most of the stories really happened to me during the last years, but never with the ending. It's in the script.
I understand.
Oh, look at this fantastic thing,
Oh,
the Titanic. The intelligence, I hope, the perversity is underneath.
Oh, definitely.
You can
definitely.
dig it if you want. If you don't want, we don't.
Almost.
What is he filming? What are you filming? Yes, sorry.
Right. In a way, it makes me think.
This is cinema. See?
It's ready-made art
It's
design.
yeah. Rossellini did it
Right.
in his beginnings, and it was
Paisa.
Paisa, another one. Okay. I would say it was perhaps his best work. If you don't have to continue and enter into a film and do all these things, you really want to cut out of the film
Right.
by the end.
Right.
You really want to stick to the body of the
Right,
film,
right.
okay, and to the body of the actresses, of course.
Well, your filmmaking is undergoing this great renaissance right now because there was a wonderful retrospective of your work in New York, in Los Angeles. Your movies are being celebrated and issued on DVDs all over the world. And but your fans have been waiting for your new film for the past 11 years. So this is a return to filmmaking for you, a little bit. What do you miss most about filmmaking?
This thing, it's called the camera. And being older, I think I need not to analyze, but to make synthesis.
Right.
And this film of a few films about music is a synthesis of tastes, of ambitions, of I don't know how to call it. I'm in this strange circumstances of time and countries and spaces. Maybe I'm really ripe to make a film so different from all the films I've made.
Right.
This one.
Filmmaking is something that one doesn't forget how to do because there are so many directors who made great
God knows.
comebacks.
You know, do you want to see what I want to do most now?
Go
Jump!
ahead.
Jumped!
Oh, there you go.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thanks.
Wreszcie dobre zdjęcie robi. W ciszy.
Tak.
Okej.